What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we continue the Gauntlet Series for the Sony LinkBuds S as they go up against the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros. Now, this should be a very interesting comparison video, so buckle up because here we go. Okay, here we are, one-on-one, the Sony LinkBuds S versus the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros. First of all, let's talk money. The Soundcores started out initially at $169.99. Right as of today, you can get them on the Soundcore website for $129.99, as well as on Amazon for the exact same price. As far as the Sony LinkBuds S, they are currently sitting at $199.99 on both the Sony website and Amazon.com. Now, let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to take a look at the earbuds and case. First, we're going to compare the cases. Obviously, you can tell the Sony case is smaller as far as overall size. But I don't think the thickness is about even. And of course, when you sit them down, one stands up while one lays flat. But I do like the slide to open feature that the Liberty Pros have on theirs. Whereas, of course, you got the classic flip top for the Sonys. Both of them are kind of, do have matte finishes, but are a little slick, so they can slip out of your hand easily. So if you want to think about putting like a silicone wrap around them, you can get those out there for each of these, I believe. But let's go ahead and pull the earbuds out. Let's go ahead and take a look. Actually, I grabbed this one, so I'm gonna grab this one. All right, so we can go ahead and take a comparison look. Of course, the Sony's is smaller, much smaller than the Soundcore. Even though I do love the oval shape of the Soundcore bud. And let's go ahead and take a look at the width of them here. Look, it's a much chunkier earbud. The Soundcores is. Just the Liberty 3 Pro, we just gonna call them that. They're much chunkier earbud overall. Full disclosure, I did change out the ear tips and on both earbuds, as well as the wing on the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros. But obviously, I believe that obviously believe that the LinkBuds, excuse me, I lost my words there, are a little bit more ergonomic and fit a little bit more comfortably. They do feel a little bit lighter than the Soundcore earbud. But let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put these in and take a picture so you can see how they sit in the ear. That's the sound. That's the LinkBuds. Let's go ahead and twist and lock in the Soundcore. I mean, even with this wing, once I twist and locked and I have that wing in, they don't budge. So they're both. Let me go ahead and grab my phone here. I'm gonna pop off a couple pictures here. All right, give me 1 second. All right, let's pop off a picture. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other side. Had to make sure I stayed in frame here, sorry. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. All right, this is how the Liberty 3s look in the ear. Yeah, I'm due for a haircut, I know. I like to keep mine nice and bald if I can. That's how that looks. Let's go ahead and switch over to the. And this is the Sony's. That's how they look sitting in the air. I don't think I had it twisted down all the way down the way it should have been. But that's how they fit in the air there. Both very comfortable. You can feel some pressure, not much, on the Soundcore because of the way I have the changed the ear tip and the wing, so it feels like it's a more seal. The pressure isn't like unbearable. Like I could wear these all day and be perfectly fine. It's just that it's something that if you're really looking for, if you're really nitpicking at it, you can pull that out and say, okay, there's a little pressure there, but not something that will hinder you enjoying your music or any audio that you may be playing. All right, so let me go ahead and drop these out. Very nice. Okay, now as we let's talk about the specs of these guys. If I haven't said it before, they both support Bluetooth 5.2. They have both support AAC, listen to me, AAC, SBC, and LDAC support, and LDAC codecs formats. I'm laughing at myself, sorry. Okay, now they both do that. All right, well, let's go ahead and as far as battery goes, excuse me, the Soundcore Liberty Pros can give you up to 8 hours of playback. I'm sorry, I grabbed the Sony's. With an additional 32 hours with the case, and of course with the Sony LinkBuds S, you get up 6 hours of playback with the earbuds, and up to an additional 14 hours with the case. But of course, active noise canceling, volume, those types of things come into play when you're talking about battery life as far as using the earbuds. And of course, that's the same that goes here. You got to take in consideration of those features, or if you want to add those on, okay, to determine how long you get, how much hours you get. So moving on. All right, as far as wireless charging, the Liberty 3 Pros case does support wireless charging, whereas the LinkBuds S does not. However, both support quick charging. For the Sony LinkBuds S, the 5 minutes would give you up to an hour playback time, whereas with the Soundcore Liberty 3s, 15 minutes would give you up to 3 hours of playback time. Very impressive, but like I said, that depends on if you're using active noise canceling, your playback volume, things of that nature. All that comes into effect there. Okay, so they both are IPX4 water resistant. And as far as ANC goes, of course, you know Sony has the one of the industry leading active noise canceling. Like I said, up there along lines with Bose. Soundcore, they use something what they call Hear ID active noise canceling, where they use a Hear ID format that they've created for their earbuds, and they incorporate that within their ANC. But we'll explain that more to you when we take a look at their app. Okay, now as far as special features go, the Sony LinkBuds have what they call a quick attention mode, where you put one finger on your left earbud, and I'm sorry, that's my dog in the background. Like I was saying, you put your left hand, you push down on the left earbud, it will automatically deaden lower your music, put you in the ambient sound mode, and then you can have a conversation with whoever is with you there. And then once you're done talking, you release the earbud, You go back into ANC mode, and then of course your volume returns to your previous setting. Now, as far as the Liberty 3 Pros, they do support multi-point pairing, as well as what they call 3D surround sound, and which is great. And as of right, that I guess that's everything to go through. I guess now we can go ahead and start having some fun. We'll go ahead and go through each app, and then we'll see what they're hitting for, see their differences and everything. And then the next up after that will be the sound test. So stick around. We'll be right back. All right, we're back in. I've got the Soundcore Liberty 3s all paired up, ready to go. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull these out just in case. Just want to make sure that they're out. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and dive into the Soundcore app. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Where did you go? Right in front of me. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So you can see we're already connected up. Let's go ahead and tap in. All right. So now, of course, you get a picture. Oh, what is this? Take a survey. Not right now. All right. So what you got here? Let me get. Okay, we're in focus now. All right. Good. What we got here is a picture of both earbuds, and of course, you got your battery level for each your left earbud, right earbud, and the case. All right, and we slide down. You got your ambient sound modes. You got your noise canceling, and of course you can enable Hear ID. And then you got normal. Let's go and hit that. So then you can take the Hear ID test. We're gonna come into that in a minute. All right. So then of course we got normal mode, and then of course you got the transparency mode. And when you're in that transparency mode, it enables you to activate wind noise reduction. Okay, I just want to make sure that stays on for me. Okay, there. All right, so then now you go down in. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let me pop these in. We're gonna test the noise canceling and the transparency modes here. All right. Now there's some noise going up. They're at normal right now. Let's go and hit noise canceling. Okay. All right. We're gonna go into transparency. Yeah. Now I can hear myself clearly. I'm not yelling. I can hear the TV in the background. So their noise canceling is good. Like I said, it depends on your ear tips and wings in this case with the Liberty 3 Pro. So we're gonna keep pushing on. All right, so now you have your Hear ID test. So what you do is you tap on that, and then you could do a personalized for your earbuds for yourself, or a non-optimized test. Basically, you'll go through a series of testing. They'll make sure that you got. Let me make sure I can. Okay, they just go through a series of hearing tests just to determine the appropriate sound that you would need for your earbuds. And of course, the test they'll just do an ear canal test, pretty much to determine the exact same thing. Okay. And then, of course, you got sound effects mode. Now you can enable any type of sound. This is basically if you want to hear ID sound. You got to take the test. You got the 3D surround sound. And, of course, if you do that, you cannot use the LDAC as it says. Then you got default. But bass boost, but that was that setting that I had. But if you tap on it again, you can change to any of these preset. I don't know if you can. Preset options. You got Soundcore Signature, Acoustic, Bass Booster, Bass Reducer, Classical, Podcast, Dance, Deep, Electronic, Flat, Hip Hop, Jazz, Latin, Lounge, Piano, on, and it goes all the way down. You got a wide range of options that you can select. I'm gonna go with, actually, you know what? I put on hip hop, but no. Then of course you got your professional, meaning, you know, you can get it from like based on what professionals use. Let's go ahead and tap on that. Then you got different producers that and they put their custom EQs in Soundcore, and you got a bunch of them you can choose from, and their signature sound. So that's which is very cool because you don't see this with any other earbud. So kudos to Soundcore for that, having that in. And then of course you got your custom, and if you double tap on it, you can go ahead and do your own EQ settings here. And actually, let me see. Yeah, you can just go ahead and change them however you want to. Everything that you got 3 different custom options that you could set, and you could go on from there. And shout out to his name is escaping me, but he corrected me on the EQ setting. I previously in a previous video said that Soundcore did not have one. He called me out and said, "Yeah, we do. Yes, it does." I did a little bit more a deeper dive, found out that it does. Put out a video correcting that mistake. But shout out to that subscriber or commenter. You know who you are. Once again, big ups for keeping it 100. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on. Of course, you got your sound mode. You tap on that. You can either use, combine audio and connectivity quality, or you can use LDAC. My phone right now does not support LDAC, so I can't use that option. And so I'm just going with the combined audio and connection quality. All right, so then we go down. You got your controls. Now here you can go ahead and select. You can actually program each type of tap. Single tap, double tap, hold 2 seconds, tap 3 times. I don't know why they're switched like that, but that's how they are. And then of course, if you go into one, you go single tap. For the left earbud, I have it for volume up or volume down. Right for the volume up. Actually, I want to see. You can hit on them. You can go ahead and switch it to however you want. Volume up, volume down. Next track, previous track, play, pause. Voice assistant or ambient sound. So I'm gonna put that left one on play, pause, and then I'll hit the right one. Well, hold on a second. My dog is hitting me up. I will be right back. Okay, we back. He's taken care of now. So where was I? All right. So we're gonna go ahead and change the right earbud. We're gonna turn that into ambient sound. And then of course, once you turn it to ambient sound, you can either cycle through noise canceling, transparency mode, or normal. I just picked noise canceling and transparency modes because those are the 2 I'll be dealing with. And then, of course, if you go back, you can then do double tap and then press and hold. Of course, they're already set for ambient sound, and then triple tap ambient sound. So I'll go back and get that corrected then down the road. Okay, and of course, you got more settings here. You can go in. Of course, you got your serial number, your wearing detection. Let me make sure I can get this in focus for you guys. All right, so y'all can at least read. So you got the wearing focus, wearing detection rather. Then you can toggle that on and off. That's basically when you take the earbud out, your audio pauses, put it back in, your audio resumes. And of course you got your device list. Your inside here is where you turn on your dual device connection. You can toggle that on and off, which is good. And of course you can see I have the 2 devices that will be using the dual connection. That's my phone and my tablet, and of course my laptop there at the bottom. If I decide to have that in there also. If you have a list of everything you have the earbuds paired to, and on that list, so you can definitely switch those in and out. Then of course you got your tone, your prompt tone. You can have wearing alert or touch tone. I just have the touch tone on here. But I guess I'll turn that on and see what that's hitting for. All right, and you have your wearing alert there. And of course, you got your fit test. You can run that in. You basically put your earbuds in. It will test for audio quality and noise canceling. You put them in, lock them down, hit earbuds in position. It'll run the test and make sure that you got a proper fit. Or if you need to either change the ear tip or the wing just to make sure you get the best sound possible and the best fit possible. And of course, you got the auto power off. That's set for 30 minutes. You can either go from 30 to 120 minutes or never power off. I have mine set for 30 minutes to help with battery life. And of course, you got your firmware update. It will go and check. Of course, I'm up to date on my firmware. And then, of course, you got the quick start guide, which will take you out to a website where there's documentation on how to operate and use the earbuds. Okay? Why I keep doing that? All right. So, and that is the app for the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros. Of course, then you can go in and when you're in the main screen, you can go in and check all different things. You can check your account, things of that nature. But that is it for this case for the Soundcore Liberty app for the Liberty 3 Pros. I'm falling over my words here, people. All right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to get these guys disconnected. We're going to hook up the LinkBuds S, and we're going to dive into the Sony headphones app for that device and see what that's hitting for. So be right back. All right, we're back in. We've got the LinkBuds S already hooked up, already paired up. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and dive into the Sony headphones app. We're already in there. All right, as again, of course, you can see at the very top. Let me see if I can get this in focus. All right, as you can see at the top here, we've got the LinkBuds S and the codec that the phone is using. You got a picture of all three, the two earbuds and case with their battery strength beneath it. And of course, you got the Bluetooth logo there showing that they are connected. Okay, so then we go into the status. You can see that you have adaptive sound control set up. And then, of course, you've got if you want your locations you frequent, you can set that up. So that way it'll tell you exactly where you are. And, of course, your your adaptive sound controls will work accordingly. Of course, you have your audio controls here. Stop, play, pause, skip and reverse tracks. And, of course, you got your volume rocker. All right, so... And then, of course, when you go in at the bottom, you got your headphones. Of course, you got activity. You can go in and see what you're, as far as how you're doing with the Sony devices. And, of course, you got your information tab, which gives you information and tips, like safe listening and all that stuff like that. And then, and then that's it. So then we go ahead and slide up just to make sure there's nothing else there. Slide up and go over to sound. Now here you can do your ambient sound controls. Let me get this back in focus. All right, now you got your ambient sound controls where you can, if you hit the little drop down arrow here, you can go in from ambient sound to noise canceling to off. Okay, and then of course with ambient sound, you can use this slider here to tell exactly how much ambient sound you want to take in. The further over to the left is the least amount, and of course over to the right the most amount. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Let me go ahead and slide these guys in. All right, and we'll play with that as we go along. All right, so now I'm in ambient sound mode. I can still hear my TV. Let me turn it up high. I can still hear the TV out there. All right, so now we're going to hit noise canceling. Yeah, there's a reason why these guys, Sony has one of the industry leading active noise canceling setups, because I can't hear nothing now. No one can top, other than Bose, no one can top them in active noise canceling. Let me go ahead and put this on ambient sound again. Okay, so I'm not yelling, but yeah, there is a reason for that. Okay, so then of course you got the focus on voice. All right, so basically, if you're talking in your ambient mode and you're having a conversation, you got your earbuds in, you have this option selected, it will focus on the voice of the person talking to you. It will deaden any background noise and have their voice up front so you can easily hear and understand what they're saying. Okay, and then of course you got your speak to chat, which actually you turn that on, you get a chime, and then of course basically is when you're if you have music on and you're talking, it will either pause or lower the volume. I think it pauses it. I don't use it often because last time I did, I was rapping to a song and it kept turning it off. So I turned this off. So yeah, so that's what that does. It's a very good feature if you need it. Okay, and then of course you have your equalizer. Okay, so you can go in. Excuse me. All right, let me go back in here. And I forgot about the little gear here for speak to chat. We turn that back on, and you hit that. Then you can hit change your voice sensitivity detection. I have that set to automatic. So that way, and then of course time until mode closes, I have it set for 5 seconds. So basically, I can start rapping. It will pause for 5 seconds and then come back. That's what that is. All right, so we're still going to turn that off. All right, so now we're into the equalizer. You can go ahead. I have it set to off for the audio test. I have to go into Soundcore's app and set and turn off their EQ so he'll be on the even playing field. But of course, you've got all different types of default settings. You got bright, then you have excited, mellow, relaxed, vocal, treble boost, bass boost, and then speech, manual, and then you got 2 custom settings that if you want to set your own up. Okay, and then if you hit that bar there, you got a graphic equalizer that you can fine tune yourself, a 5-band graphic equalizer that is. And of course you can use the clear bass to either give more bass or less bass to your personal custom setting there. All right, so if we move down further, we got the 360 reality audio setup features. I don't use these feature personally. You can analyze, it analyzes your ear shape, and then it gets you set up to use the 360 reality audio setup. Like I said, I don't use it, so I don't know much about that service. But from what I understand, it's a good service. But I don't use like third-party music apps and stuff like that. I don't do. So that would not work with me on that, in my daily flow. But they are, from what I understand, it's a very good feature, very good software there. Okay, then of course you got your Bluetooth quality, connection quality. You hit that down arrow. You can set it to either prioritize sound or stable connection. I have it for stable connection. Normally, if you use an LDAC, you want to use sound quality, but I just, since this device, since my current phone right now doesn't support that, I just go for the stable connection, which is very, very good, by the way. Okay, then of course you got the DSEE Extreme option here at the bottom. You can turn it off and on. That's for compressed audio files. If you do have those and you can play them using your device, go ahead, turn it on, and enjoy that full-throated feature there. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to System. Now here, you can go ahead and change your, your voice assistant. Let me stop there. You can use either Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, or if you're using like Siri for Apple, or what is it, Bixby for Samsung, you will use the top option, voice assistant of mobile device. Of course, now here we get into the fun part, so to speak. This is where you can go ahead and set up your touch panels for your earbuds. On the left, you can go ahead and hit this drop down box and select those options for single, double, and triple tap. If you use it for ambient sound, then you can't do anything with the double tap and triple tap. You're pretty much done. I know. And of course, the continue pairing, the continue pressing option is for quick assistant, and I believe that's only on the left earbud. All right, so I have it. Of course, you see I have it as the ambient sound, so I can cycle through noise canceling and ambient sound if I need to. Then if you go over to the right earbud, you can go ahead and either do playback controls, volume control, or you can put ambient sound on there. But you're dedicated to 1, 2, and 3 taps on this one. And then of course, you got your play, pause, next track, previous track option. That's how I have mine set up. But of course, you can set it up to however you want to. Of course, they have a reset option here. So if you don't like it, you can reset them back to the default settings and start all over. Okay. So then, of course, you go down. You've got your, of course, ambient sound. Once again, it's like you can turn, switch them off. Which ones you want to use when you cycle between ambient sound and noise canceling? Do you want all three? Noise canceling, ambient sound are off, or you just want the two like I have here? I just go through those two because it's easier for me that way. I'm either in one of those two options. Okay, so then of course you got the quick access. This is for Spotify, and I guess it's Emble or something like that. I guess that's what it's called, Emble. It's for you to quickly access those two audio music apps. Where you can go ahead and get into those. I don't use either one of those options, so you double tap, you can go into Spotify or Endle. Sorry, not Emble, Endle. So I don't use either one of those apps, but that's what that's for. And of course, you got your wear test. Make sure that you're getting the optimal earbud sound. You of course have your earbuds in. You run this test, and it will tell you, actually you can go in and compare the sizes, and it'll tell you which size is best for you to use when using these earbuds. If you're not 100% sure after switching through the provided ear tips rather, excuse me. All right, so then of course you have excuse me, pauses when you take the earbuds out. Oh, excuse me, I jumped ahead of myself. You got the auto power off. I'd had that to do not turn off, but you can have it set to when you take your earbuds out, they automatically turn off. I don't do that. I just have it set. They'll just pause my music. I do not have them turn off automatically when I take them out of my ear, because then you got to put them back in the case, take them back out, reconnect, and then off you go. But you do have pause when headphones are taken out. You do have that, the auto pause feature. I have that turned on. So just like with the Soundcores, you can, when you plug them in, when you take one out, it pauses. You put one back in, it starts back up your audio. Okay, of course you got your voice notifications. You can go ahead and turn that on. You can set it to English. Of course, you got a big list of languages if if you need to change that. But that's a good option to have. Automatic downloads for software updates, I'll keep that on, and I put it on for automatically downloaded. It doesn't matter if I'm in a Wi-Fi area where I'm connected to a Wi-Fi or not. Give me that update, and I want it now. And of course, you got the initialized settings. Basically, you can go ahead and either go back to a previous state, or you can just go ahead and just completely go to a factory reset and wipe out everything. Okay, and then of course you've got information here, which, like I said, we went through all these already. Okay, and then if you go up to the top, the three dots up here, it'll give you a drop down or a pop up here, and you can go. You got your your tutorial. Let me go ahead and make sure that's in focus. All right, so you got your tutorial, then you got your LinkBuds version, then you of course you got your backup and restore setting, and to recover, your settings and everything. Say for instance, you lose the earbuds, you get new ones. You can go in here and then restore any previous settings that you may have had. Of course, you got the Launch Music Center option there, and then of course you got the about this app option feature, gives you all the information about the app, and of course the help will take you out to a website where you can get information on how to use and operate and properly clean your earbuds. Okay, and that is it for the Sony. Excuse me, for the Sony walkthrough on the Sony headphones app. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get music set up, and we're going to go ahead and do our sound test. So stick right with me. We'll be right back on it. Okay, we're back in. I got the Liberty 3 Pros. We're going to start with them. I got them paired up. I'm going to go ahead and get into their app because I need to set up. Excuse me. I need to set up their equalizer. I got to get that taken care of. So we're going to go in and we're going to put everybody at 0. There we go. All right. We're at 0 across the board. And first thing we're going to do, we're going to make sure we're at 100%. All right. We're at 100. All right. We got noise canceling on. Let's go ahead and get a song popped up. Sorry for that little delay. Let's see. We're going to go in and we're going to do Private Eyes. All right, let's go. Okay. See, I'm getting more out of the left than the right. I want to make sure the balance is right. I guess it is. Okay, there it is. Okay, that was my fault. That was my fault. I didn't have it locked in properly on the right. But there we go. Okay. I gotta do that. I love that. I'm sorry, I had to do that for that song. That's like one of my favorites. All right, so okay, that was good. It was really good. I'm gonna hold off until the end. I just wanted to give that initial thought about the music. Um, it was loud. You got good. You got okay separation. But like I said, I will hold off on that until my final thoughts. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into another song. Um, let's go. We're going in the hood. Rough Riders. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like this. I like this. Yeah. Yeah. I'm liking the bass. Okay. It's real. Okay. All right. I like the bass in that one. Um. All right. Like I said, I'm going to start going into a rant. Not a rant, but a whole explanation. But like I said, I'm gonna hold off until my final thoughts. But I do got an idea as to what I want to do with these guys. What I think about these guys at zero equalizer setting. All right, so that I just got to keep emphasizing that this is not with any type of equalizer help. All right, so what we're gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys disconnected, and we're gonna pop into LinkBuds S and get them paired up and run through it with them, and then we'll come back. Okay, bear with me. All right, we're back in. As you can see, we got the Sony LinkBuds S paired up. So let's go ahead and get back into YouTube and dive in. We're gonna first we're gonna go back to private eyes. Here we go. We're at 100. Okay. Just one more. Wrong one. You can see the equalizer is at zero. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Turn that off. And it switched on me there. So it's turned off. Okay. 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 We're gonna all right. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and go over. That was private eyes. It sound really good. Hold for my overalls. We're gonna go into the hood and we're gonna do that here. Okay. Okay. Yep. Man. Whew. Man, these earbuds these days, they come with it. They definitely come with it. Okay. All right. Now, I then did a walkthrough. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little bit here. The LinkBuds S came off a little more warmer of a sound than the Soundcores. All right, so I'm gonna give you. Okay, I just they sound a little bit warmer. Let me go in and get these out, and we're gonna go ahead and let me go ahead and get this out the way. We'll go ahead and get into my final thoughts on both of these um, right now. All right, we're here with my final thoughts on both of these earbuds. Now, once again, I'm going to want to let you know that my thoughts on these are based on no equalizer help whatsoever for either earbud. Okay. As far as loudness, The sound cores were a little bit. I would say maybe one, possibly two ticks. Not even two. I'll give them one tick at best louder than the LinkBuds S. However, the mids and the treble was way higher. Like it was they were very high, really high pitched. With with the volume being as loud as it was, the bass was good. Solid. You got the thump, but it was almost the treble was almost ear piercing, in my opinion. But like I said, could have been the song. It could have been a bunch of different variables, but as of right now, that's what I experienced with the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros. Very good earbuds. Yeah, I pull these out more often than not. I usually grab these guys when I at work or something like that. These are definitely in my in that rotation. But as far as the Sony LinkBuds, they're not as overall loud sound wise as far as in compared to the Liberty 3 Pros, but their sound was a little warmer. Was much warmer than the Liberty 3 Pros. They seem to be like a more warmer sound. I'm trying to find the words to explain it. Not being an audiophile, trying to find the exact words to say what I want to say gets tricky. But it just, I guess the best thing I could say, it sounds warmer. It's a lot warmer of a sound than the Liberty 3 Pros. It's even with the EQ at 0, the bass was a little bit more punchier than the Soundcores. Yeah, so in a pinch, depending on if I had to grab him in a pinch, which one I would go with, that's a tough one because they both have EQs. Sony's have the best overall, by far the best noise canceling. But the Soundcores have multi-point pairing, wireless charging on the case. So if I had to choose based on sound, overall sound, as far as not volume, but how sound as far as sound, separation and everything, I'm going with the Sonys. But if I gotta go for not only if you want to add in features, then I'm definitely going with the Soundcores. So my final verdict, my final thoughts are, this is tough. Because one takes advantage of something the other doesn't have, and I guess I'm gonna have to say Soundcore. I guess I'm gonna have to. I mean, yeah, Sony's got the best bass, warmer sound, but these guys get louder. They have the multi-point pairing. They do support LDAC, same as Sony. I would have to go with them in a pinch. So that is my verdict on this head-to-head between the Sony LinkBuds S and the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros. I know a lot of people will have their own opinions on it, and that's fantastic. If you want to share them, go ahead and drop the comment in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And I want to say thanks again for stopping in and checking out your boy. If you like what you see, go ahead and give me a like. If you want to stick around and see what else I got coming down the pipe, I still got another Gauntlet video. I want to put these eyes up against one more of my top 5 within this price range. I want to take them up. I got one more for them to go up against. So if you want to check that out and be informed on anything else coming down the pipe, go ahead and hit the notification button. And then go ahead and subscribe, rather, and then hit the notification bell so you can be alerted once these videos drop. And again, I thank you a bunch for stopping in and hollering at your boy, taking time out of your day to see what I think of these earbuds. Man, we're in good times right now. We're in really good times when it comes to audio technology, as far as mobile audio technology. I want to thank y'all for actually just joining this ride with me, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the comment sections moving forward. I think that's it for me for right now, and I will check you on the next one. Peace.